Ever miserable enough to want to commit suicide twice, I revive myself by understanding, no matter how devastating your life is, it is imperative that you do this. Do not get well, don't expect to build a fortune. Knowing to love yourself is the most basic thing you need to do if you want to succeed in anything or any field. Do not do it, sooner or later, you will also definitely find a way to undermine your own achievements. This is an article done by Mandy Holgate, one of the most successful life coaches in the UK, posted on Lifehack. In the past 20 years, Mandy has helped many businesses and individuals do what they never thought of and reach new heights. She believes that everyone can overcome difficulties and adversity to achieve what they want if they have the right thoughts. I used to be a poor woman, unable to control my psychology and constantly wanted to commit suicide. I woke up in a sleepy state as the bright sunlight was shining through the curtains. Stepping down from the bed, I saw dozens of empty medicine capsules scattered around the floor, and I remembered that I drank all the medicine I had last night. I take drugs that wake me up, make me fall asleep, and whatever I can find in the house. I was extremely angry. That was the dark day I experienced 13 years ago. Now that I think about it, I still remember the feeling of being filled with anger and suffocating so much that I didn't think I could talk to anyone without releasing it first. At that time, I thought, why do I drink so many drugs and not die? I was so crazy that I took the medication manual and found the pharmaceutical company's phone number to criticize them that this is a false ad. On the clear user guide in school, if you take an overdose, go to the hospital right away. It sounds crazy, but at the time I was a poor woman. I couldn't even control my mental illness, and there was always the feeling that I just wanted to end this life right away. But luckily my wish that day did not come true. Remembering that moment, I found myself now like another Mandy Holgate. I learned more about myself, life, thoughts and ways to live really happy. That 18 months of illness made me miserable, but it was also an impulse and helped me succeed as I am today as a person who changes the lives of millions of others, as well as having a book sold worldwide. I wish myself and everyone can soon understand that to succeed in everything, the first basic thing we must do is to love ourselves. I often remind people that I can help you create the best marketing strategies or best action plans. But if you don't have faith in yourself, you will definitely find a way to undermine your achievements, and ultimately your success. In addition, self-love will help us be more confident and have a higher self-esteem, so if you can't do it, success is only a hope. In addition, we will all have to experience the feeling of failure, an essential component of the formula of success. However, a depressed Mandy in the past never understood these things. If you are also struggling with one of the psychological illnesses like me at the time, you have nothing to be ashamed of because it is not your weakness. And no matter how frightened you are, remember, when you share your disease with someone, you have begun to step on the path to a better life. Now, I want to share with you the expensive life lessons I have learned, and how those things will change your life if you don't lose yourself. 1. Share with people that you are struggling with something that is not a sign of weakness. The most valuable lesson that I learned after more than a year of struggling with illness is that I do not need to do everything on my own. I have seen how asking for help from others makes me a useless and pathetic person. I think, Mandy, you're pitiful when you can't solve the problems in your life. However, later I realized that we all need to have someone to lean on sometimes. The phrase "I need help" is a sign of strength, not weakness. The most valuable lesson that I learned after more than a year of struggling with illness is that I do not need to do everything on my own. I have seen how asking for help from others makes me a useless and pathetic person. I think, Mandy, you're pitiful when you can't solve the problems in your life. However, later I realized that we all need to have someone to lean on sometimes. The phrase "I need help" is a sign of strength, not weakness. People who are really confident and strong believe that they are loved and respected. They know for sure that if they open their mouth, they will definitely get help and achieve what they want. 2. We will always have negative thoughts. The speech therapies that I apply when I'm sick don't only change my own life, but also many of my clients, because now I also use these therapies with them every day. After all, I think the voice within each of us, thinking, has a tremendous power, so learn to listen to them. The things you hear can be positive or negative, and your job is to be aware and selective to get the right thoughts. I often tell my clients that at first, you don't need to do anything to eliminate negative thoughts, as long as you stay alert and tell yourself that you will be able to change them. 3. Saying no does not mean being selfish. We often think that we will become great heroes if we help others everything they ask for. However, when constantly saying yes, you yourself are contributing to helping others succeed, but doing so affects your own happiness and success. So, learn how to say no when needed, because it's a great way for you to go further and faster on your own path of success. At first, you may feel embarrassed when you reject others, feel guilty, and it seems that no one respects you or your dream anymore. But just leave those feelings away, everything will be fine. 4. Doing something wrong is not necessarily a bad thing. For me, it's hard to believe that failure has its own benefits. I feel that I must always be perfect all the time. Perhaps not only me but also many people are encountering this problem: fear of making mistakes, fear of stumbling. We don't want to lose face to others, so choose not to challenge ourselves or face failure. However, failure is a valuable lesson for success. It is an opportunity for us to learn, practice perseverance, determination, and a measure of our dedication. Without experiencing failure, you cannot sharpen your skills, you cannot even know where you have come close to the destination you want or not. Friends, as long as you try your best to achieve success, people will not pay attention to your failures. On the other hand, you should also consider failure as a stepping stone to signal success ahead. The more you know how to accept and overcome many failures, the more success you will achieve and the bigger and more brilliant. 5. You can always change your mind. As an entrepreneur, I always set clear goals for what I want to achieve, as well as my desire for achievements. I am also not shy about sharing with others the definition of success in that direction. However, sometimes I find myself doing things that I don't really want. And then I realized we need to learn to be honest with ourselves about life's problems and towards our true passion. This also means that you can change your mind and there is no rule that forces you not to do so. Do you really want this? Is this really for you? Ask yourself such questions because they will help you have the courage to stand on the specific path you outline. At the same time, they also help you realize when the road is off course and take you away from what you really want to change in time. 6. Never think that you will fail. My customers are always obsessed with questions like, what if I don't meet everyone's expectations, what if I can't do it, mislike that, what is ineffective, or what if people don't like me. Many of us are like that, always thinking things in a negative way and therefore thinking that we will fail instead of thinking that everything will be fine, everyone will love us and we will be successful. In this case, the if-like game is a great way for you to check if your guesses are correct or just a useless thing that is distorting your look at the results you expect. Want. Try playing to see how many of your thoughts are positive and how to make them a reality. 7. Doing more doesn't mean you will be more successful. Today, when asked how are you, instead of saying I'm fine, thank you like before, people responded I'm very busy, thank you. It seems that in this 21st century, everyone is busy because they think that those who refuse to do and devote themselves to their work will be hard to succeed. Besides, we always look at others and think that what they do is what they need to do to be successful. But no, this is really a wrong view. What we need is not to imitate others but to learn to think and work smarter. You don't need to let anyone know how long you've been working, and there's no need to try to impress anyone but yourself. If the current way of working and living gives you what you want, keep it. If not, don't make yourself work harder and harder because it will only ruin your health and happiness in the long run.